All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second part of this week's The Long Voyage. As I mentioned before the break, we are only going to have 2 parts tonight. They're going to be slightly longer than normal. So you are being escorted through the city of Tethmem towards the towards the the palace. Oh goodness! I just
Don't die, Joe.
something stuck in my throat there. And yeah, you're being escorted there by an armed escort, led by a rather buff and muscular looking fellow. And
Yeah.
as you get up there, you are well, you're first instructed to wait a while, of course, while you're being while the news of your arrival is being what are we called filtered through the various channels, and eventually you are being you get brought further into the palace and into a very large central room, and it's lined with soldiers, and sitting on a stone chair in the middle. It's not up on a dais or anything. It's just a large stone chair with a lot of comfy pillows on it to make it bearable to sit on the damn thing. You see a man, a very he's got a shield and a spear leaned against the side of his seat. He is dressed in all black, and here you have him.
Izrasim.
Yes.
Well, you say that's him.
Yeah.
But you can't actually see him.
Oh, you can't see much of him.
No.
He gestures with one hand for you to walk closer. And the soldier who's been escorting you here, and he's on the way, he has informed you that his name is Kanmi. He steps forward and says something presumably in the local language. And the man who's seated listens to it and nods and says a few words back, and then Kanmi turns around and looks at you and says, Isimrazen, who is the representative of the sword, wishes to know what business you have in Tethmem. Are you here as emissaries of your sword? And Ormer looks a little taken aback by that question. He's never considered that somebody might think so, clearly. And he shakes his head and he says, No, we are not emissaries of the Raven Lady. We are simply travelers and explorers and adventurers. And Kanmi nods and says, all right, I'll explain that. And he turns to the man on the seat and explains or translates presumably what Ormer has just said. And the man on the seat takes that in for a moment and says a few things back. And when that is translated, he says, "Then you are permitted to stay in Tethmem. You are not allowed to carry weapons around the city without first having been given explicit permission. But your weapons can stay on your ship. We will not take them from you, but you can't carry them with you. Anything larger than a dagger is forbidden. You are large people and you will frighten the local population if you walk around heavily armed. If you are peaceful people, you won't need your weapons anyway." And Ormer thinks about that for a moment, and then he nods and he says, that is both fair and reasonable. We are peaceful people. We are not here to cause trouble. I don't know how long we are going to stay anyway, but quite frankly, this looks like a fascinating place. I think we're going to stay for a little while at least. He says and looks to you. What do you guys say?
Yes, please.
And he looks to the others as well to see what you think.
Yeah.
Goofy was like looking around, being like, huh? What?
I think Gilmore did the same, like, ooh, pretty ceiling, ooh, pretty floor. What? Oh, yes.
As you said, Captain, we are travelers and explorers. It would do us well to soak in as much of this new and exciting culture as we can.
Absolutely. It's
So different from the Lotus Empire.
oh yes, which is all the more reason to stay and learn more. And so we thank you for the hospitality and your permission to stay, and we shall certainly not make any trouble while we're here. If any of my crew should do something foolish or untowards, then I hope it will be brought to my attention as well. And Kanmi raises an eyebrow, but translates that, and the man on the chair, Ismrazan, he chuckles a little and nods and once his words are translated, what he said is, "Yes, we shall certainly make sure that you are informed if any of your crew makes any difficulties or any trouble for anyone. I can promise you that much."
Uvo looks at Ormer as she says this. The last places we've been, we've always helped out if needed.
Ormer nods.
I guess the same thing counts here?
Ormer nods. As Ilva has just said, this is absolutely true. We have in fact been, we've been lending a hand in our previous destinations. If any sort of task should arise, we would probably be interested in helping out. Could be an interesting way to learn more. And for a moment it looks like Kanmi is almost insulted because, why shouldn't he be able to solve whatever problems arise? But then he seems to realize something, and he nods and he translates it. And a moment later he confirms that Ismrazan has taken note of this, and if anything arises, you will be informed. And he says, it's not unheard of for mercenaries to be employed for whatever reason.
Yeah,
And
I didn't mean to offend.
No. It is probably just a matter of my understanding not being perfect, he says and smiles. But in any case, you can kind of tell that the audience is pretty much, it's at an end. It's just a quick little, hello, we are here sort of meeting.
We have been dismissed.
You have indeed.
Okay.
I think that means that Ilva is now tiptoeing from foot to foot, looking at Ormer with a waiting for, yeah, you're free now, Ilva, go.
Yes, and that's pretty much what he says. He says, yes,
And
go and soak in the city.
and she's gone.
Alone, or does she bring any of the others?
She didn't wait for them.
Okay.
I
Think about
Thorn
it.
says- I think immediately after she's run off for it, someone should probably go with her. And then he starts running
She
after her.
she has the very unfortunate collection of a trait.
Yeah.
The curious,
Yes.
impulsive, and klutz.
Yes.
Oh God. Goodness
Which
me,
means
yes,
that in her hurry to leave, she actually stumbles over a She stumbles over or on a rug in one of the other rooms and tumbles head over heels and ends up breaking a vase.
Yay!
But that also allows
Do we all...
it also allows the others to catch up with her if they want to.
I see you've already
Oh
started
my
breaking things,
nose.
Silva.
She's still like trying to get up with a. Oh, my face.
I see you've already started breaking things.
Yeah, my nose. I think. No, it's fine. What did I break?
He points to the vase.
Oh. Oops.
One of the guards from just outside peeks in to see what has happened, then he just shakes his head and, the look on his face is one of barbarians, and, he doesn't say anything, but that's the look on his face.
She makes a, apologetic gesture. Like, sorry.
Right, I should probably come with you in exploring the city. No, I'm not saying you need a handler, but I'm curious too.
You're saying I need a handler. I know.
No, he's saying that what he's doing is he's offering to be a cushion for you to fall on the next time you stumble.
I don't have a death wish.
I mean, you'll be fine. You're a Southlander. You're made of sterner stuff.
So is she.
Look, just both
Pretty
of you
sure the Lord
go.
of Laughter will have fun too. You should just come.
You had to mention his name. You go. I'm going to find someone to clean up this mess.
Ooh,
What about you, Gilfy?
I'm Frothy!
Shouldn't we bring Gilfy?
Yeah, Gilfy's just like looking around, stretching. Is like, I don't know. Probably find myself something to get me busy, as usual.
You mean someone?
Ha, use
Yeah,
it.
I'm not
No.
going with him to find a woman. Let's just.
Right.
Whatever the wind brings.
He's going
Not
on the
true.
prowl. I don't want to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. You just save
Why you think of
your.
me so low?
We don't. We just know you very well. Save your suave talking for the ladies you want to impress.
Hey.
Hmm?
I think he's trying to get in contact with you guys.
We're being quiet so we can talk.
He's just like pointing fingers like, that you could snap you with me.
What?
You do know who I am, right, Goofy? I get snappy with everyone.
No.
Go with them out of the city and then split off and go and do your thing. I will find someone to clean up this mess.
You don't want to come along?
I will come along. I'm a tracker. I will find you.
He's right there.
Follow the trail of broken things.
Hey!
Well, it's not that like it's untrue.
Ilva walks off in a huff, walks into the doorway, goes around it, and walks off in a huff again.
Mm-hmm.
There's follow her.
So, you guys head back out into the city.
It's hard to make a dramatic exit when you're a klutz.
Yes. So, what do you want to see? What do you want to experience? What do you go looking for? Food?
Would he definitely
Company?
suggest? Would he suggest they go look at more animals because that was fascinating.
Ooh. And a bath. Last time I bathed, it was in salt water. That is really nice.
Let's start with that.
Bath is good.
Right. That's our first priority.
Okay, so you're looking for basically for an inn or someplace where you can stay.
Yes.
Unless they have a bathhouse.
They do.
Ooh.
Okay.
If we can communicate with them.
Yeah, see, that
Yes.
was what I was about to bring up next. How are you going to communicate with these people?
gestures.
Right.
Me shall wash myself. Money. Yes.
That will do. That will actually do it.
Get a grimace.
Yeah, and you
Oh, it's
realize
charade.
that they will take payment in gold or in silver, so either will do fine.
Well, we have both. So
Yes.
They get gold because we rather want the silver with us.
Yes, well, if you do that, you also realize that you're getting treated to not just a bath, but you're being led into a, some helpers or attendants arrive, lead you into a, first into a place where you can, undress and so on and so forth. There are some fresh loincloths to wear if for modesty's sake, if you absolutely want to. There's a separate area for men and women, incidentally, and there are masseurs there.
Oh, that's what we tried as well back in Laman,
Yeah.
didn't we?
Indeed. And this place, whereas in the Lotus Empire the masseurs were sort of they were very precise, and it was more of a relaxing and gentle sort of thing. First, I mean, sure, they got a good grip and you could feel it, but these people have a completely different take on what massage should be like. So they get a hold of you, and the first thing you realize is when something goes and for a brief moment it's really this ow, and then
I imagine that Ilva just laid down and then through these screams from the other rooms, like, what the fuck was that? Ow!
yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
And then once you sorry, yeah.
Can we say that Sindri joined them soon after all
Yes,
this?
absolutely. It doesn't take long.
Probably while we are looking for the bathhouse.
Probably, yes. So
Okay.
so you get through the massage, and then you get into a hot, steamy room where some attendees again will occasionally. Sorry, what?
So it's a hot steamy room with some hot steamy attendees.
Hardy har, very funny. Will bring cold water to douse you in, which is extremely bracing. Extremely bracing, to put it mildly, because everything else is like sitting in a sauna, and then you get doused in cold water. On the other hand, by the time you get out on the other side, you haven't felt this clean or this relaxed since you originally landed in Lanwan and had your first good meal there.
That was certainly an experience. I didn't expect to feel so relaxed after.
You also realize afterwards that you've been in there a lot longer than you thought. It's actually getting dark. You arrived in the middle. You arrived in the middle of the afternoon, if you remember, but it's actually getting dark now.
Ooh, that took longer than I thought.
Yeah, it did. We should find a place to stay.
Yeah, we should. And dinner.
Oh, I'm starving. I wonder what that man thing tastes like. Let's see if we can find some of that.
Man thing?
The hairy man in the cage. You shouldn't smile at. Yes, that one.
I
You
don't-
wanna eat it?
It's an animal.
She looks at him disturbed.
Oh, another monkey. Or something.
well,
But they were cute. How can you eat something that's that cute?
Chickens are cute.
No, they're not.
Well, I think they're cute and I still eat them.
Yeah, but the roosters are feisty. I still remember my epic fight with one when I was small. They're not cute.
Pigs are cute.
They're vicious little shits.
anyway, let's just let's just find an inn and see if what they serve as food here.
Yes.
So we search. I imagine there's one fairly close to the bathhouse we have frequented.
Yes, there is, and you get in and you find a seat, and there are people from many different places here, clearly, but most of them are still these dark-skinned locals and you as you sit down, somebody comes over and tries to talk to you. Basically, it's one of the people working here coming over to ask what you would like. Obviously, you can't actually understand what the young man is saying.
Do they have a menu card?
No.
Oh, no pointing then.
Point to stomach.
Oh, right.
Point to eat. Money.
He nods and smiles, and he points to someone who's sitting at the next table over with a huge tray full of all manner of different kinds of fried meat.
Over nuts.
Oh.
Yes, and he also makes sort of a drinking motion for all of you.
Yep.
Yeah. So he brings you food and drink, and it's there's a lot of it, and it's not as if it's terribly expensive. I mean, you do pay for it, obviously. It's a lot of meat and so on, but it isn't prohibitively expensive, and it's good. First and foremost, it's good, solid food.
That's good.
That's always
The
good.
beer is a little strange compared to what you're used to, but it's alcohol. You can get drunk on it.
Yes.
This is almost worth leaving my hammer behind.
Almost.
Almost.
He oh sorry, after the waiter, or what you would want to call him, is done. It's not a restaurant per se. It is an inn, but he does take note of you. You can tell he does take note of you, and then as he leaves it, he says a few words and smiles. I mean, he's clearly quite friendly, and then he leaves you guys there to enjoy your meal. Probably he said something along the lines of exactly that. Welcome and enjoy your meal, something along those lines.
Yes.
Okay.
Nom 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 nom.
At least we guess that's what he's saying.
Yeah, probably, yes. And a little while later,
Yes.
We get eaten.
well, somebody starts playing music,
Mm.
dancing. Very different from anything you've seen or heard before as well.
Nova tries to catch the rhythm and, some of the song. Not that she's singing, but, remembering things. At some point you realize those sounds have been said before. Maybe it's the choir or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do the people wear here?
A lot of different things. Long tunics or loincloths and some form of elaborate neck piece that goes down over the shoulders and down over the top of the chest. I mean, there are many different kinds of clothing.
Cool.
And lots of color. There's a lot of color in their clothing.
Yeah, she's just seeing nuances of grey.
Of
but
course, but the others see a lot of color.
Oh. I love how
impressive.
colorful the places we go to are.
Yes.
Ah. Sorry, Ilva.
What?
Never mind.
She looked thoughtful for a moment, not really catching why he said sorry, and then never mind. By now she's so used to it.
I think I'd like to get an outfit here as well.
Me too. Some of it looks really comfortable. Though I might skip the loincloth.
It's also... I'll help you figure out some colors because it's really colorful, most of it.
Huh. I like that nuance. Points at
yes.
the kind of grayish that looks pleasing to her. Though the color is very green.
Ah!
Like a grass green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would work well for you.
Yes.
What about Gylfi? What does he make of all of this, or did he go somewhere else?
Probably Griffey at first split and does his usual thing of checking out the markets, checking out the, all the, what the vendors sell, from everything from spices to herbs to medicine.
Yep. Yep.
And then he's tasting some food and other things.
Definitely.
Mm.
And as you are standing, as Gylfi is standing in one of these marketplaces, checking out, probably quite, it's quite probably just after he's had something to eat. He's just picked up basically it's basically it's a kebab. It's a it's a skewer with various kinds of meat on it, and it's really succulent and it's really delicious. And just as he's standing there, he hears a man's voice that he doesn't know, but it's speaking Southlander, saying, "By the powers, you're a Southlander."
Gylfi slowly turns like how, like with the half of the whatever kebabs, the shish kebab
Yes.
stick still in his mouth, like,
There's a man standing there. And he looks completely dumbfounded. He's not from your crew. His weapons and armor looks like it's seen too much use and too much repairs, and his he looks completely astonished to see you.
oh, hello there.
Oh my goodness. You really are from the Southlands.
What gave it away?
Well-
The tall figure, the pale skin, or the blonde hair?
All of it. Where are you from? What part of the Southlands? Let me ask in a different way. Who's your sword?
Just Gylfi tries to like pretending to be chewing his food, but he's literally giving him a once over if he has any markings that he knows.
No, none that he knows.
Yeah. Because Gylfi does have heraldry.
Yes. But his clothing has, or rather, he is wearing something that could pass as Southlander clothing, but it's clearly made by locals.
It's like he swallows his whatever the bite he was having. It's like, well, currently we are more of a, I suppose our captain is serving the Raven Lady.
Oh, powers be praised. Then you're from home. Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen other Southlanders. I'd almost given up hope. I'm of the Red Crow Warband, or what is left of us anyway.
Mm.
We were shipwrecked here years ago. There are only 3 of us left.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe it. The others will want to meet you.
Well, we're docked in the insert name of the port.
Yeah, there's only the one port in the city, so yeah.
Do I know if Captain is staying on the ship?
Probably nobody is staying on the ship. People wanted to get up on land and actually, you know, the
But
ship
he
is
will
under guard.
probably,
The
like-
point is the ship is under guard, so.
So he will be probably like, oh yeah, we have like the, you know, we just docked. Like the crew is around.
By the way, is Gylfi, is he wearing his cloak at this point?
I don't know. Probably he would.
Okay. And he's looking at it for. He really is looking. He's saying, I know I've seen your colors before. I'm sorry, I can't remember where it is from.
Herborg.
Oh, wow. Wow. You're important people. Wow. Please, come and meet my friends.
Mm.
I'm not your. I swear. I'm not trying to pull anything. I haven't seen a countryman for so long.
Yes, he's gullible. He's like, that sounds like a great idea.
And he smiles and he says, "Okay, come with me." And he leads you through the city. It's not, you know, down dark side alleys or anything of the sort. He's just, you know, leading you to a house.
And we never heard from Gylfi again.
You have absolutely no faith in my NPCs.
No.
You've met a lot of nice people, and you.
Yes, we have. And they turned out to not be what they seemed to be.
Are you a woman? Good sir, are you a woman?
And if you're a woman, are you also
Please
a fucking
blink
one to
twice.
lead us?
Yes.
If you're a woman, please blink twice.
So you head you follow him, and he takes you to a house, and he throws open the door and he shouts in, "Hey, guess what? There are Southlanders in the city. I think they have a ship." And
Gilby's just like standing there chewing on like probably the last of his shish kebabs, like,
yes,
hi.
and 2 women come out from other rooms. And let me see first. Here you go. This one.
Hmm.
And the other one takes a little bit longer. She's coming down from upstairs. And she's like, yeah. What are you saying? It's Southlanders? Corey, please. Don't get my hopes up.
Hank Frog?
Yes?
What?
Oh.
Well then.
That
Interesting.
fucking old man, I'm gonna murder him. Oh.
Well, she stops on the staircase because it might have been years, but you know, you recognize your friends.
Hi, Gilfy.
And she's like, Gilfy?
I need a and like the player needs a reminder.
This is...
She was a little girl in our city when we were small.
Yeah.
And Ilva would be 12 by then, so Gilfy would have been 10.
Yes.
She used to have a lot of black moods, but you can read that in the blurb that came up.
Exactly. And
He's
for
like,
the
I'm
record,
mute,
she's the person that the last session was about.
I was about to say that in my entire rant, I was muted, and the audience, and you didn't hear it. I was like,
Yeah.
"You utter! I hate you! I hate you so much!"
Yeah.
Oh.
When his brain clicks, he's like he probably drops the stick that he had that he had his like food on. It's just like Rama? What?
I'm... And she just turns around and runs back upstairs. And the man looks confused, like, you know each other?
Yes and no, and it's I would say it's complicated, but kind of isn't. It's complicated.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
I'm sorry. I hope I didn't.
no. It's
Okay. Please have a seat. Have a seat. Let me find you something to drink. And are you more hungry? Is there anything we can get you? And the other woman who's in the room as well looks at him and says, Corey, go get some of the beer. I'll talk to him. Relax.
Oi.
She gets up and walks. Or she's already up, but she walks over to you and extends a hand. No, to you.
Oh, he extends a hand back. He's like,
I'm glad to meet
kill.
you.
Oh well, like feelings mutual, but does she look like young, old?
There's a picture of her. I think I shared it.
Mm-hmm.
This one. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. So,
This is my name is Saldis. I've well, yes, I don't know how much Corey told you, but the three of us are the only survivors from a shipwreck some years back now.
It's like it was like he told me a lot, but nothing at the same time. It's like it's one of those things. This is This is very peculiar. Well, very weird. Well, meeting Rana is weird. Well, meeting you here, like.
I see.
I don't mean to sound like we are like this is not great and all, but we've seen some. Never mind. Ooh. Well, this is interesting. Well, that changes my plans for the evening.
Oh, he didn't get to find a girl. Well, he found two, but not that kind of girl.
Oy vey. Well,
do you have any of your crewmen or crewmates that we need to get a hold of, or?
Well, they are probably around. Like they are a rowdy bunch, so they would not be too difficult to find. I would love to speak to Rana, but like, I don't. Looking like, judging by the reaction, I don't. She's the least happy of you three to see me. So.
I think she might have been surprised more than anything else. Tell you what, how about this? I'll send Corey back out to see if he can't find the rest of your friends. And then we can just sit and talk for a while, and when Rana feels that she's able to join, she'll come back downstairs. Is that okay?
Well, it is, but I would. This all kind of brings stuff like that because, like, well, just to elaborate on, just to fill you more in. The last time I've seen her, I was 10-year-old, something like that.
It's
I
basically
think
almost 8 years ago now.
Oh yeah, so like, eight.
No, 5 years ago.
Oh, five.
Ilva was 17 when
Maybe
we
seasons
started, but it's
passed.
been so long now that they probably turned a year.
yeah.
Meeting some like childhood. He's like he chokes out word friend, but like childhood acquaintance. At the butt end of the world. It's like
Yeah.
interest.
I
Fiddly.
suppose. Okay, and Corey comes back in with a large mug of beer that he puts down in front of each of you, and then he's got almost feverish eyes when he looks at Saldis and says, I have to go back out there. I have to see if I can find the rest of them.
Don't worry, ma'am. Calm yourself.
Yes.
We have to we are not leaving anywhere soon, and they are not. Believe me, they are not leaving without me.
Oh no, of course. I mean, you're their crewman.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not a captain or anything, but like, believe me, they not getting without me.
Okay.
We're not leaving our little Jesus behind. No.
Yeah.
So we still. He says, I had just about given up. This is so far away from the Southlands, and I just about given up on ever seeing anyone from back home again. And then suddenly you're here.
Well, that we are. That seems fortunate.
I'm.
Well, it's definitely fortunate for you. I'm fairly sure if there is no objections from. I cannot imagine Captain would have any objections on taking you on board. I can imagine.
That when you
Unless-
say that,
Hmm.
Corey gives up fighting it, and his shoulders begin to shake, and his face contorts, and tears start rolling down his face.
It's like he's just like starts looking at Sal. This is like just pats him on the shoulder, like they're there. It's okay.
I mean,
It's okay.
and she looks touched by this as well, and she says, I'm very glad to hear you say that. It's not that I
Oh.
don't like it here, because I do, but I miss home, and
Well,
She-
one thing.
oh, sorry, please go on.
Sorry, one thing I cannot promise you that we will be heading home, because
No, but there's a better chance that we will get to see home again if we
Yes.
sail with you than if we stay here. And we will be with other Southlanders again, and she takes, she just looks at Corey and says, Go and look for them. I know you want to. And then he nods and hurries out, And then
Oh, it'll
once
be
he
easy.
when
You
he's
just have to follow broken pottery.
when he leaves, Saldis sits down and pushes the other mug of beer over towards you, and she says, he has a wife and children at home. At least he did when we left.
Where is he from?
We're from a small community out by the Blue Ice Sound. Our warband is known as the Red Crow Warband.
Do I recognize the name?
You do. They were thought lost about 2.5 years ago, thereabouts.
Mm.
The whole warband went off on a raid, and none of them came home. Nobody knew what happened to them.
Oh, we heard this earlier too, in the beginning. That there were war bands, and then you mentioned something about one that never came back, just
Yes.
vanished.
Yes, that's them.
Cool.
Good
I
memory.
remember stuff.
Yes, you do.
Ah!
Yes, you do. So yes.
Ilva made sense, and I remember stuff. The world is about to end.
Today is a good day. Well, yeah.
So, right, you sit there and share some beer with her then,
Mm-hmm.
and we are going to quickly pop over to the other guys, and a little time does pass, but no doubt that people have taken notice of you, and you're new in town, and you look strange and all that, so
And we've been pointing at everything, going, ooh,
rumors, exactly, rumors have spread, which means that suddenly the door to the inn where you are sitting flies open and through it stomps a large man. And you don't recognize him, but he is very clearly Southlander.
How small is the room we're in?
It's fairly
And how
large.
close are we to the door?
It's fairly large, and you're probably maybe 15 meters from the door.
Then he's safe from being clocked.
Yes. But he stops right inside the door and just looks around, frantically looks around. And when he spots you, he makes a beeline straight for where you're sitting, and the look on his face is one of pure joy.
I think the second he blasted through the door, Ilva has, per complete instinct, reached for her hammer.
Yes, but she doesn't have
Because
it.
shit happened in a hurry, and then she realizes what's going on, so she's just looking that dumbfounded, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think as soon as the man approaches them
Yes.
in that way, Thwoody is halfway up his chair and then notices his expression and just stops halfway. What?
Hi.
It's true, then Gylfi isn't the only one. Oh my goodness.
What?
Hi?
Hi.
Gylfi finds friends everywhere, doesn't he?
My name is Corey. I'm one of just a few Southlanders in Tethmam. It's a long story. Please, would you come with me? Gylfi is at my place, my home, with my crewmates, the ones that are left.
Sure.
Once my heart rate is back to normal, I'll stand up.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start. I didn't think I'd ever see Southlanders again.
It's okay. We've just seen some shit.
Right. Okay, please come with me. He walks over to the owner of the place and points. He speaks their language clearly, and he gestures towards you guys and your table, and then he pays for you.
Oh, nice.
And then he comes back and he says, please come.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for paying.
No, don't worry about it. I can afford it. Believe me, they pay well for large, strong people who can, swing a weapon in Tethman.
That's
Good to know.
Yes, that's why there are only 3 of us left. We were 13 when we came ashore. Now there are only 3 left.
Oh, those are not good odds.
Well, what happened?
Well, jobs. Various jobs. Here and there. One by one, people die.
No, how did you end up here?
Well, I'm of the Red Crow warband. Well, I was. What's left of it,
You're the one who
anyway.
vanished.
Yes.
People wondered where you went.
Well, we were going to raid along the Lion Coast, and then we got hit by a storm, and the ships were divided. I don't know what happened to the other ships. We never saw them again. The one I was on board got absolutely blasted. We barely made it to shore. We had dead people on board. We had more people who were mortally wounded. Our side maker was dead. We couldn't do anything. 13 of us made it to shore. That's all.
I'm sorry.
I'm the last of the men who's still alive. We had 2 battle maidens with us as well. They're still alive. We're the only ones
Whoa.
left. Please come. You must meet them.
Of course.
Well, we do have some spare room. I'm sure that the captain will let us take you home.
Gylfi mentioned that. You can see his tears rising in his eyes again.
Hey, it's okay.
I had a wife and children back in Blue Ice Sound. I haven't seen them for over 2 years.
Has anything happened to that particular area while
Not that
he's
you
been
know
gone?
of, no.
Okay.
But Blue Ice Sound is a place that you have heard of before. That's
Yeah,
the
that
place.
was the place the old man came from.
Indeed. But you haven't heard anything else.
No, and that
there.
was 10 years ago.
Well,
no,
not
5 years
5
ago.
years,
It's
yes.
still like, she's 20-something. No, she's not. She's 18.
So yeah, but he leads you, through the streets and back towards his home.
Swarty suggests that perhaps they find the captain.
Yeah, we should.
I'll
we should
go and
probably
look.
find-
I'll go and look for the others. He says, I'll just show you how, to get there first, and then I'll go and see if I can't find the rest of your crew.
The captain's name is Ormer,
Ormer. Okay, I will remember.
and
You're
he
from
should be pretty easy to recognize. I'm sure everyone's noticed us.
and you're from Hirborg. I got told by Gylfi told me that you're from Hirborg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are what's left of it.
We were from here.
That. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
That's
It's
fine.
fine. We didn't even know.
Okay, I'll hear the whole story, I'm sure. Anyway, I'll go and find the others once I've gotten you to my place, and he leads you, as I said, through the streets and towards where this home is, and you enter, and that is exactly when Rana decided to come back downstairs again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Oh.
Ilva walks in, sees Gylfi and the woman, and waves at them. Hello.
Yeah.
She hasn't seen Rana yet.
And then,
I mean,
sorry. Please.
how many? I mean, I'd say it's only been what? You said
5 years.
5 years.
5 years, yes.
I suppose she won't look that much different then.
Well, she was
yeah.
about 13 at the time.
So
Hmm.
yeah,
So she'll
Actually-
probably have bloomed since.
Actually, I think she was about 14, but yeah. So
she was 14 at the time,
Yeah, she
so
was
she
14,
would be
yes.
19 by now.
Yes.
Gilky's like, look! Southlanders, Rana, what are the odds?
Southlanders and
Yes, that's the.
Dare.
And she's just frozen on the stairs again.
With handshaking, Sindri raises a hand. His eyes are just like saucers, and he says, "You stay right there." And he staggers over, and very, very clearly almost afraid of what will happen if he does that. He puts a hand on her shoulder to check that she's real, that he's not having a fever dream from the plague.
And she's quite real.
But you're dead.
How?
No.
You died.
No, I didn't. I tried. And I failed. And the old man cut me down.
And he lied to us. Followed you all the fucking way out there.
I'm so sorry, I didn't know you did that.
Ilva turns around, leaves and slams the door after her.
Thordy takes a moment to look after Ilva, and then he goes to embrace Rana.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Gilfie's like,
hugs
okay,
him right
I'm
back.
confused, and just walks out after Ilva. It's like, hey!
Yeah, it's a group hug at this point.
And she cries, openly weeps, and she apologizes over and over and over and over again.
Thordy, yes, same for Thordy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even everyone is just let's cry together. This is too
Crying,
much.
apologizing.
This is too much, even for Grim Sindri. This is too much.
I'm
Oh.
so sorry we weren't fast enough to get to you.
No, you don't need to apologize. I couldn't stave it off. It just kept.
I saw the creatures chasing you
You did?
in a vision. It was that was why we ran after you.
It was horrible.
What was that?
I don't even know. To be honest with you, I don't even know. All I know is I ended up using one of the nooses that were already hanging in the trees. And I just wanted it to stop. And the next thing I know, I wake up and I can't speak, and my neck is hurting worse than anything I hope you can imagine. And the old man had cut me down.
He kept saying you were important.
I'm not sure why, but he always thought I was. He always thought that there was something important about me. So he brought me home, and he trained me as best he could. And I didn't have any talent for, sight or anything like that. So he trained me in the use of weapons, and then I decided that, well, I needed to do something with my life. So I joined the Battle Maidens when I turned 16. And a year later, only about a season later, I joined the Red Crow Warband. And then about 3 seasons after that, we set out for this raid. And I only barely survived that.
But you did.
I guess I did. What about Ilva? She ran away. I think she's angry.
I think I should be too, but
I was so
Can't be.
ashamed. I didn't want to go back. I thought everybody hated me. I thought everybody would be angry at me.
I took your Damn it, we all grieve for you, Rana. I took your fishing rod back to your parents. I've never seen such heartbreak on their faces. And... oh, what does it matter? I was young. I was smitten with you at the time. I regretted not telling you so much, and I'd never felt so empty afterwards, and no one would have hated you, but
I am. I wouldn't. I'm sorry.
Don't be.
But I should be. I've caused all of you so much heartache, and I mean, you weren't there when I woke up, and the old man never said that you had been there at all.
I am grateful that he helped you to survive, but my anger is directed at him for lying to us and you.
I understand that. He was good to me. He gave me a feeling of... He made me feel needed. Like I had some kind of value. I don't know how to explain it. Why are you here?
that is quite a story.
Well, we have time, I think, if you want to tell it.
It's not a happy one.
Are there really that many happy stories anymore?
Yes, we just found you.
Is that a happy story? Do you think that that's a happy story? I'm not sure Ilva does.
Ilva needs time, I'm sure, and definitely an apology. But to know that you are alive is a much happier conclusion to that story, I would say.
Yeah, and I will apologize. I will.
Let Gilfin talk to her first.
I will.
There's the least chance she'll rip his head off.
So, in fact, let us hop out there to see what happens with the two of them, shall we?
Ilva! Wait! Damn it, Ilva! I just
Really that
drink. I was just drinking. Wait for me.
She is still power walking through the entire city.
Oh, god damn it, Ilva!
So, he's starting to sound very much like Gollum at the moment.
He sounds like someone who has asthma.
I mean,
God damn
maybe.
it, Ilva! You will stop right now.
Or what? You gonna heave me to death?
Huh? But you stopped.
Nope. She's still
Oh,
walking.
God damn it.
Just not the one to run out of there quite as fast.
God damn it, Ilva, don't make me tackle you.
You're allowed to try.
It's gonna hurt. He tries.
Well, at least he's serious.
It's
I actually
hang on to
thinks
her
that, like, when she hears him trying to tackle her, he's like, oh, he means it.
Okay.
Probably, it's probably more of a like a weird, like you know, like being hit with a floppy burrito.
I just had this image of him basically clinging to her back, like, and, you know, legs wrapped around her waist, and just as she keeps walking, he's holding on.
Yeah, but at least he's trying, so yes.
Stop.
There's the flop. because she's not wearing armor, so it's just cloth against cloth. Like poof, and then she keeps walking with him, dragging after her. Gilfie, you're making a scene.
No, you're making a scene.
You're the one holding on to me.
Well, you're the one that's stopping.
That's because I don't intend to stop.
Well, well, I don't intend to let go. So, well, have a happy time dragging me with you.
Fine.
Fine.
She keeps walking through the city with Gilfie hanging on for dear life.
I think you need to cut to the chase of the issue.
Yeah, Gilfie's still holding on, so it's like. So, well, now that I don't have to use my legs. So, Rana, then, yeah, that's a thing. So. So, how you feel about this?
She should be very happy I don't have my hammer.
Oi. Yes. Big bad Ilva would like to swing her hammer at all the problems.
She untangles Gilfie from her and drops him in a water trough somewhere and keeps walking.
Well, he follows. He catches up and follows. As I was saying. Well, you're just proving my point right now. Oh my god, Ilva, we've been through this.
We have when?
Back in round 1. Literally the same thing. Well, the same kind of
Oh, did you
conversation.
turn out to be dead and not be dead anyway?
Yeah, might as well. Should it be happy or something? I don't know. You know,
Sure.
your friend
Got
is
away from
alive.
us, right?
Your friend is alive. Just can you for one time just be happy? Like that, just be happy for her that she's alive and here, and so you have a chance to see her again.
She
Silence.
stops after a while because at some point she'll run out of city.
Not
Oh,
really.
that-
It's a huge place.
And
It
there's desert beyond it if you're desperate.
So
Nah, then she'll just get lost. So I think she stops after she's walked for a while and just goes, great, now I don't know where I am.
well, I know where we are. So you are. Yeah. So if you want to get back, you will talk to me. Yeah.
You're really out of...
Well, I like you attempt to drown me, so excuse me.
No, I was just trying to slow you down
Well, you managed to.
for a while. You've gotten better at keeping up.
Well, thank you.
Actually,
So,
didn't think you'd try to tackle me. It was a silly attempt, but at least you tried.
God damn it. I swear to God, the shits will be real.
A what?
Never mind. Don't worry about it. It's like, can you at least, I am here. Nobody else, I think, around speaks Southlander here. So, can you at least elaborate what are you feeling right now? Well,
No. But I
Why?
probably might ask the captain if they take them home, and I tend to keep my promises.
can, oh my God, I thought we were beyond this, Ilva. I know you're stubborn. I know you are. I know you like to stick to your weapons. But like, can we at least try to talk about this like adults? I'm not taking sides here. I just want to hear what you have to say. You know.
Just take us back.
Hmm. Sorry, can you say it again?
Just take us back. That way I can find the inn and go to bed.
Well, he sits like in the middle of the ground. Well then, look who has the upper hand now.
Look who's acting like a child now.
Well, then there's two of a kind.
Apparently.
You see, we are like we. Are you sure we are not real siblings?
Well, I have taken care of you since you were Barbie, so we might as well be.
Well, I never stopped being a Barbie.
No, apparently not.
Wow. So, you wanna talk about this, or
No.
are we going to spend a lovely, lovely night in here?
Then it seems we're gonna spend the night here, because I'm not gonna talk to you about it.
Well then, he pulls out his pipe like, I have all the time in the world.
And that's the reason you lose your breath when you try to catch me.
Probably. So. So random. I don't really remember her that much. Like,
You're gonna
don't-
talk about her all night?
Well, she seems to be a topic of the day, so...
You know what? I can find my own way back.
I would like to see it.
She keeps walking. She's not gonna stand up with us.
He's following her, just like, you know, whenever you're ready to go back, just say a word. Well, couple words.
Did tell you to just get us back there, and you didn't want to because apparently you want to talk about Rana.
Well, I wanted to. Well, not really about Rana. I wanted to talk about why are you acting like you're acting. I don't. To be fair, I don't really care about Rana right now. I care about you. You know.
You have a weird way of showing it.
Well, somebody has to. You know, I'm not, you know, the straightest stick in the mud here. That allegory kind of ran out from me. But you know what I mean.
Hope you wore your good boots. It's gonna be a long walk.
Oh well. Not the first night I spent under the moon.
She keeps walking until she finds her own way back.
Guilty, like every time she's about to like find the right way back, Guilty is trying to misdirect her by like trying to talking to her and distracting her.
And she is a klutz.
So every time he distracts her, she'll trip over something,
Yep.
probably.
She will probably. Anyway, we are going to leave them for the moment and just go back to the others for a brief spell before we stop for the night. So yeah, we go back to the house, and at this time, I assume that after a while, at least, you know, the weeping in the group hug kind of stops, and you all, you know, take a seat or something.
No. It's everlasting.
And she's like, I'm guessing you must have a lot of questions.
Well, you answered a lot of them already, but could you tell us the story from your perspective?
It's difficult, but I'll try.
You can skip the unpleasant parts. I think we all realize what those entail.
Right, that does make it easier.
Well, the most unpleasant part,
yeah,
unless it's
obviously,
important.
yes. The point is that when I came to, I didn't want to go home because I didn't think anybody would want me to come home. And yeah, sure, that was wrong of me. But I had these awful thoughts all the time. And when I woke up, all I could feel was pain in my neck and my throat because I had just tried to hang myself. It took me over 2 years before my neck stopped being stiff.
I think
I still have a mark, and she pulls down on her what's it called? She's got
Collar?
a scarf around her neck, and she pulls down on that, and you can see that there is actually a burn scar from the hemp in her skin.
I see.
And she says, and they called me Hanged Frog. Where I ended up. It was not supposed to be a term of endearment, but I owned it.
Was it because you croaked? Because of your throat?
No, Rana means frog.
Ah, of course.
But no, they called me Hanged Frog. And I just decided, as I said, I wanted to do something with my life to prove to everyone, probably mostly to myself, that I had value and that I was good for something. So as soon as I was able, I picked up a sword and I started training, and I didn't stop. And it turns out I was good at it. I had a talent for it. And soon, you know, all the local kids in Blue Eyes Sound were getting beaten by Hanged Frog. You can probably imagine what that did for their self-confidence. Nothing particularly good.
I imagine it did something good for yours, though.
It did, I guess. I mean, does that make me particularly horrible to think that beating them up made me feel better? But it did. And after about 2 years, I went home to Aske, and I told him that was his name. And I told him that I was going to take the vows. And he was the one who pointed me towards the Red Crows. And he said I had to follow the Red Crows. He said that was what was important.
The Red Crows, not the Red Ravens.
Yes.
Well, no, but kind of the same thing, just one is bigger than the other.
Well, it has some significance to us,
Yes.
but I'm not sure that's something we're allowed to share.
Then
Maybe.
you shouldn't. He says it's fine.
Oh,
Well,
bring
as
us back. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, you go.
This brings back our character. Have we actually told her the story of what we went through to try and find her yet? Or
Not really.
reminds me of the journey we underwent trying to chase after you and the things we encountered on the way. I mean, passing through the mountains, and we ran into the old man on the way to ask. And then it's been so long, I've forgotten the names of all the places we went to. What was the name of the ribs? The ribs
The ribs of the Great Wolf.
Not the lips, but the ribs.
Yes.
The ribs, I know. Passing through the ribs of the Great Wolf, coming face to face with a flock of ravens and an ice reaver, which we were barely able to escape from. And then we ran into some Strauger, who I broke my toe on one of them trying to kick its head like a ball. And then we had to choose which path to go down in the pitch black.
I was
Guess
passed
it.
out by then, wasn't I?
Yes, you had been
I
using your power and taking so many visions that you just couldn't take the strain. We carried you all the way down the path until we reached the marshlands and
That was
took what
my-
shelter we could.
That was my biggest regret. If I hadn't passed out, I could have more easily told you which way to go. Because I knew.
We still guessed the correct route anyway.
Yes.
And then, yes, we woke up in the morning, kept walking, found us again. He told us that you had hanged yourself successfully, that there was no point looking for you. We didn't want to be faced with your lifeless corpse.
Elva did
hanging
go
on a tree.
looking.
And you went to stop her, and I couldn't function.
I shouldn't have stopped her, should I? He says and looks at Rana.
I don't know. She says, maybe everything happened for a reason. I just know I'm sorry that I caused you that much. Pain.
Well, at least I learned to temper my arrogance.
Oh,
He was such a cocky little shit, weren't you?
Lol.
I was so proud that I kept on using Malanor magic, and, well, to be honest, I was a little jealous because everyone kept talking about how you might have magic. And in the end, well, you know how it turned out.
yeah. And it turns out that I did have magic, but it was very little. And I had no talent for it. I've never developed it. I've never learned how to do anything with it. And I don't use it because it's that weak.
Guess
You
I
made
had
up for that in other ways.
Yes.
People talked it up to something much more than it was. And yeah. I just wanted the pain to stop, that was all.
Well,
It still hurts sometimes, but not as bad as it did back then.
I suppose some wounds don't really heal.
Some monsters you can't run away from.
No.
Have you learned to fight
can't.
it then?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I don't always win. I win more than I lose now.
That is good.
Hmm. You know, it was partly losing you, I think, that led me to become as sour of disposition as I did in later years. I mean, there's a reason that I've become Sindri the Grim on this voyage of ours. But now that knowing now that you're alive again, does that mean I need to stop using that title?
I suppose
Do I have
that's
to-
up to you.
Well, we've seen enough other stuff and done enough other stuff to merit it. In fact, why don't we actually get to telling you about some of that?
Yes, please, let me hear about it.
It's not a happy story, as I mentioned.
No, I can understand
No.
that it isn't, but I want to hear it anyway. And I
Well-
think, ladies and gentlemen, that with you guys telling her the story of how you got there, I think that's a good place to stop for tonight.
Yes.
In fact, yes, I imagine the last line you hear before we sort of fade out is Sindri parroting your blurb, saying, "Well, treachery and deceit had won the day."
Yes. And it is... Let's see... You get 3 XP for today. And...
You.
And
We got how much?
Sorry, what?
What?
3 XP.
We've got 3.
And we will see you guys back for more of A Long Voyage in 2 weeks' time. So from us here, until then, bye.